you're a new investor who's looking towards the future, it can sometimes feel impossible to identify trends. This is why I want you to go back. You see that? What is that? I want you to try this as an exercise. Go back all the way to the year 2001. You might not have even been born, but all the way back in 2001, Apple came out with two products. They came out with the iPod, and then they came out with iTunes. And we didn't know it at the time, but they were going to revolutionize basically everything. You didn't know that a phone was going to come out. You didn't know that an iPad was going to come out. You didn't know that there were going to be wearables like an Apple Watch. You didn't know any of that. You didn't even know what Apple TV was. You didn't know what streaming was. None of that really existed back then. But if you were paying attention and willing to take on a small speculative investment, you could be very, very wealthy today. So now think about that today with some companies that are still relatively in their infancy. I'm talking about stuff like Kava or Airbnb or Uber or even Hims and Hers. When Hims first began, they were just for hair loss. No, I'm not going to use their products. I'm not insecure. I actually kind of like this look too. And other issues relating to the bedroom. And I looked at Hims because someone said, hey, you're losing your hair. You should try Hims. And I went on their website. And I said, no, I'm not interested in this. But maybe I am as an investment. When I look at a company like Hims in their infancy, the first thing I think is, this isn't where they end. This is their beginning. What could possibly come next? And maybe you don't even know. Maybe you can't even envision the stuff that they are going to come out with. Maybe they don't even know. They might be all sitting around going, all right, guys, what's next? Same with Airbnb. I mean, at first it just started off as, hey, I got an apartment that I'm not using. Come stay in my place. But they branched out. Now it isn't just short-term stays. There are experiences. There are specific types of homes you can stay in, like tiny house or tree cabin. You can search by all kinds of things. There's luxe rentals. There's longer-term rentals. Think about when Uber first came out. The only way you could drive for Uber is if you had a Lincoln Continental. Today, Uber offers a lot of services, not just calling a car. You can get your packages delivered. You can get groceries delivered, food delivered, freight. Part of investing in new or startup companies is that you, as the investor, you got to have some sort of vision. You have to be able to look at the company in their infancy when they barely offer anything and go, but what could they be? In the comments below, I want you to drop some companies that started off as one thing and then morphed into something completely different. And then ask yourself, what are some new companies that might be able to do things we haven't even imagined yet? Hit the follow if you want to learn how to invest.